Good day, paranormal community, and thank you for partaking in this episode of The Odyssey Files. I'm your host, Michael O'Neill. With me, as always now, is Mr. Anthony Hernandez. Good morning, Anthony. How are you doing?
Good morning. I am doing okay.
Decent seems to be the average answer now.
Yeah, decent seems to be okay.
Decent to slightly horrible, I think,
Yeah, well,
is the common nowadays, but I digress.
rebuilding the
Uh,
laptop kind of threw a monkey wrench into stuff, but
yes. I don't mean to laugh, but it's funny that it's happening to somebody else.
no.
it seems to be it seems to be the thing that I was actually I was doing evidence review overnight. Um so 3-4 a.m. stuff like that, and happened to see the like Cameron, Scott, and Amy doing their thing, and apparently I didn't get to see it, which is actually kind of unfortunate for me. But I guess like Scott banged his head on a bunch of pipes like a couple times, and Cameron just starts laughing his ass off. And so yeah, it's funny when it happens to somebody else. It's why they call it the funny bone, because
It
everybody
is.
else thinks it's hilarious when you're the one that bangs it.
I think it's more like laughing out of comfort that it wasn't you, but yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes. And honestly, I think that's why so many people love like the re-dramatization shows for paranormals, because they get all of like the terror and everything without any of the like the consequences.
Oh, yeah, I don't have to live through that really. I can just turn this off when it's done.
What are you trying to say? What do you mean, like this, like the show?
No, no, like the reenactments and stuff like
Oh,
that. Once they kind of like going to the movies, once it's over, you can move on kind of usually, unless you have nightmares and stuff from it. But
although sadly, that's not the case for a lot of people, because we have gotten the question sent in multiple times of, is watching paranormal like shows and movies, does it open you up to having something happen in your home? Which emphatically the answer is no, but
see,
we still get it.
but you have to ask the rest of the question. Okay, did you just watch the movie, or did after the movie you decided to go get your tarot cards? You went and bought a Ouija board. You went and now you started doing all these other things on top of just watching the movie. So
True, but you can't blame the movie then for
no,
opening stuff up. It was
it,
stupidity, which we rile against, obviously, over and over and over again. Um, so, uh, speaking of like paranormal movies and stuff like that, uh, I want to give. I don't know if I want to say I want to give it props. I mean, I do, but I mean, like I support this campaign, this endeavor. Uh, so recently, I've seen. This was weeks ago, that the Conjuring house, which has been in the paranormal news like over and over and over again for being sold, then being then the purchaser kept it for a couple years, but then all this stuff started happening. Well, then they sold it, and now the new owner is like a complete psycho, and like nobody wants to work there anymore, yada yada. Well, now it's being sold again, and I believe, I think it's on auction. I think that's what's going on, or maybe it's just up for sale just in general. Um, and normally I wouldn't pay much attention to that, because obviously it's on the other side of the country,
yeah,
and I'm honestly not a big fan of the Conjuring house. I just don't think it's that. I think it's a little overhyped, specifically because of the movie, which I get. Um, but Jason Hawes of TAPS fame, Ghost Hunters fame, it has now started a campaign to buy the house. And I think that's a great idea. I would love to see that house put in the hands of somebody who respects the paranormal, respects that house, and respects like the history and professionalism that would go into it. Um, and so, yeah, if anybody is interested in, I mean, he's only. I don't want to say it's like a politician, but it's like every
Yeah.
little bit helps. You know, like if anybody, if a whole bunch of people could donate $10, then they would have enough to buy the house. Um, so I'm gonna put out the whole, especially like the Democratic ploy here, that if you want to go to Jason Hawes's website or his Facebook page or whatever, he'll have the links and donate whatever you can, $1, $5, $10, whatever you can, whatever you can to donate to his cause. I think that I would like to see that house like put under his care, um, and probably the care of his daughter, uh, Satori and Cody, who do their own little haunted uh, artifacts and museum and stuff like that. But I know they used to work there. Um, and I think that for them specifically, it would probably hold like a special place in their hearts and in their lives. And yeah, I can't imagine anybody better owning that specific piece of property. So, um, but yeah, just wanted to give a shout out to that for anybody who might be interested. And I'm sure if I don't know if it's a GoFundMe or whatever, but there might be some pretty sweet. I haven't looked at it, but it might be some pretty sweet rewards. Like a free investigation or something like that if you donate enough.
I will have to check that out because with my technical difficulties, I saw a couple of things pop up from him, but I didn't get a chance to look at them yet. I'm assuming that's what that was about.
Probably. I know Satori. I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly.
I
Apologies
think
if I'm
so.
not. Um, I know she shared like a post, and now I know that he's put out a video. I think probably explaining a little bit better
Yeah.
everything that he's trying to do. And I know it. I just saw the title of the video and that it was a video, and I know that it has to do with the uh, the campaign to buy it. But it's a little steep. From what I gather, it's like 1.6 million.
Well, yeah,
So
because you're going to have every greedy person in the world trying to get that thing. I mean, that seems to be what happens with most of those things now.
unfortunately, so. Um, but who was it? Oh, it was. I'm looking for new investigators for my team, so I've been doing video calls and stuff like that just to talk and ask questions and get questions answered. Blah blah blah. And I mentioned like Farrar and stuff like that being bought out by uh, the couple of YouTubers and uh, Cassie, who's the my new investigator. Um, she mentioned obviously Matt Rife, comedian, and
Oh,
his
that guy.
buddy
Yeah.
buying Ed and Lorraine Warren's place and putting it on Airbnb for an obscene amount of money. Uh,
He's only got it for a lease, though. He's only got it for 2 or 3 years, which is
no,
weird, but
no. That's incorrect. So
okay.
he owns the house. What he has the 5-year lease on are the artifacts in the museum. He owns the house. Like
Oh,
that's
okay.
done and over with. Um, and he's only like a caretaker for the artifacts for 5 years. Um,
And
th-
I would be curious if he does everything that he's supposed to be doing, that they were doing in order to keep everything where it was.
I don't know. Um, he's a big fan of Zach Bagans, which I don't. That right there just gives me like a sense for pause
Yeah.
that I don't necessarily know how respectful or whatever he's going to do. Um,
I had a friend who went to to Zach's Vegas thing, and he even incorporates jump scare stuff in there now too. So not just seeing the things, but now that he's kind of tried to make it a haunted house type show that you go to.
yeah, yes, we are talking about Matt Rife. Um, sorry, the question in the chat, but well, yeah, I can see that because honestly, he's had it open for so many years now that I'm sure attendance is down because everybody's seen it. Everybody that wants to go and see it by now has probably seen it. So now it's got to be like, oh, well, now there's something extra. Now, now, and not only do you get to see these artifacts, but you get like personally scared during your
The
tours. So Baggins is a showman. I'll give him that. Like
Yeah.
I'll never take that away from him. He's a true showman, but I just wish it wasn't for this field. But anyway, so uh, speaking of things that could send you his way, if that is your intention, segueing into the main topic of our show today, which I had never heard of before. You brought it to my attention, as you have been doing for weeks now. Like I truly, and this is a compliment to you. That's not a complaint at all. Like I am shocked at how much I don't know about what is good, like what is out there now. Like I I like to consider myself to be a pretty open-minded person, and I like to like stay informed. But like I truly think now that I've become so jaded about what everybody else is putting out there that I'm like I just want my own little bubble. I want to do my investigations. I want to help people, and I don't care about all this distraction that's out there now. Because honestly, that really seems to be all that it is now. It's just
Distraction.
people's way to distract from everything.
Well, see,
And
then you should Randonautica is made to get you out of your normal routine, your I forget what they call it, your reality tunnel, to break your reality tunnel, to get out of the normal thing.
that is the dumbest flippin' line I've ever heard in my life. That reality tunnel, like I want to strangle the person who came up with that as much as I want to the author that came
I
up with high
see.
strangeness.
Oh, I'm
I'm gonna
sure
add
that
that. Okay, I'm gonna start a list right now.
reality tunnel, high strangeness, orbs.
And no, not orbs. Or orbs is not that is a like a concept, like
Verified, yeah.
a theory. That stuff. No, I'm talking about dumbass phrases that people use to try to sound intelligent. Orbs is not that. Orbs is like a classification. Um, no, we have reality tunnel,
Yep.
yuck. Uh, okay, we have high strangeness,
You gonna
absolutely
add your
not.
dumbs on there?
I wasn't. Dumbs. Oh god. Oh, that just gives me a stroke. I just can't. I can't even wrap my head around that one. Like that's just not even hate. That is what it is. It's just dumb. No, and synchronicity, which goes right along with what we're talking about today.
Yes, it does.
I I can't even spell it. That's how much I hate it. Synchronicity. Sure. And I don't like that either. So, um, so anyway, you've already said it, Randonautica. Which
Yes.
how long has that been out?
I want to say it came out right around the time that COVID did, maybe a little before. I think it was 2019 when it launched. I
Okay.
heard about it shortly after that.
and I never heard about it until like 3-4 days ago. Um, although the fact that there's an app out there, I mean, like I've heard of apps, obviously that because you said you use it for like going on bike rides and going
Yeah.
on motorcycle rides and stuff like that. Like I've heard of apps that do that. Like they try to plan your route, to like if you want a scenic route, like they'll give you, the best possible thing. But I'm like, I usually use Google for that.
It was
If
it
if
was sold to me it was sold to me that it like this will take you off the beaten path and take you to like really cool looking scenic routes and stuff like that is how it was sold to me. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a try.
and did it work?
Yeah, you take some nice rides in the country and stuff, and just I don't know, you just take rides and enjoy the scenery.
The backwoods of Texas. I didn't think it
Well,
had
hill
scenery.
country and stuff. We do. We have hills and stuff.
We have hills and
Pretty.
everything.
I'm sure they don't compared to what y'all have. Is we think our hills are stupendous up until you get to Colorado and you're like, damn, okay,
Colorado mountains are beautiful, like
oh yeah,
absolutely beautiful. Uh, I went up that way when I was bringing all my dad's stuff from Arizona back to Minnesota, and I'm driving and like trying to take pictures, and I'm like probably all over the road at that point in time. Thankfully, it was like 5 a.m. Sun was just coming up. But yeah, I still have a whole bunch of photos on my phone of that trip back because yeah, they were gorgeous.
yeah. I will
Um,
say, as far as rides go, one of the best ones that I've had was Sedona to Flagstaff. There's a switchback that goes on the mountainside up and rising up into Flagstaff, and that's just like a super scenic and it's really beautiful ride to just enjoy.
yeah, no, I don't know it at all. Um, so why don't you tell me and the people listening exactly why we are supposed to care, especially on this show, about Randonautica?
Well, because a lot of what you do, you're supposed to set intention before you even push the button. So you're supposed to, if you're doing it for scenery, you'd be like, okay, show me fantastic scenery, show me, I don't know, beautiful, show me stuff like that. And you basically click the button and it plots out a route to where it should take you off the beaten path away from where normal people would go. So kind of out of the middle of nowhere, something unique for you to see, not the norm. Now,
But
why
that,
why it pertain? Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No, finish.
I was going to say how that pertains to us is when you set your attention to something that is not so good, like creepy, scary, spooky, demonic. What could go wrong?
So what you're telling me that if I use this app, and what I was going to add in there was it has different settings. So what you sounded like you were talking about is like what they call the void, I think. Where it
I did
it
not do that
gives
one,
you
but
it, or are you talking about the void? Or are you talking about the anomaly when you talk about like
tractor.
seeing? Well, the attractor is supposed to give you like a whole bunch of points close together, like even if it's in the middle of town. According to this, the field guide that you sent me,
Let me see.
which was a busy hub of randomness,
Yeah, that's that.
improbably dense is what they call it. So I mean, that doesn't seem like it's taking you off the beaten path. It's putting you in the beaten path specifically.
No, that puts you at a place where for whatever reason, it seems to be high energy, high spirituality type things, like positive stuff, not negative. The void would be the opposite of that. And
Okay.
most people who, at least feedback on the who picked the void one, definitely say that it takes you to creepy places and stuff. But I don't know, I never did it. So
Is it possible that this quantum mechanics computer they're using is just a pervert?
yeah, maybe. It so the thing that made me interested in it and made me look deeper into it was the fact that it uses the quantum computer, which is part of the global consciousness effort. So I mean, they're trying to tap into something deep with it. So that was interesting. And then when I saw that there's all the paranormal stuff that has occurred around it, it I don't know, seems kind of unique that it would do those things.
So, right. So here's kind of what I want to do. Let's talk about what it is and maybe some good things like stuff that has happened. And then I want to destroy all of that.
Okay.
I'll tell you why I hate every single piece of it. As people who have listened to the show for a long time are pretty used to me wanting to do. Um, so what we have here is, so as you said, and you didn't even know that you were supposed to do this, the whole
Yeah.
intention thing. And honestly, to me, like it seems to be the exact same thing as you making a birthday wish before you blow out the candles.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
it,
that's kind of how I thought it was anyway. So
but
I hadn't read deeper into it.
intention. So I mean, are we talking about intention? Like I want to be brought to where there's demon infestation, and then it's supposed to bring me there, or is it like I want to understand my role in the universe type of stuff, and then it brings you to some clearing where you have like this wonderful scenery. I don't know, but like
I
what
think it
type of
could do
intentions are
both.
we talking about?
I think that depends on the person. So you could set the intention. Like one as far as good experiences go, one person put the intention of love, and she said that it took her to the middle of nowhere, which I can't really advise people to be doing that by themselves in the middle of nowhere. But that's on you. But it took her out to this place where there was a bunch of rocks, and she happened to find a butterfly that was sitting on a heart shaped rock. And so she took that as a sign of a synchronicity, your other one of your favorite words. And it meant something to her. I forget what she said it meant, but the butterfly and the heart were like, I think her her departed sister. I think the butterfly was like her favorite thing, which she had tattooed on her arm in remembrance of her sister.
I see. Okay. And we're thinking that a quantum mechanics computer knew this.
At least that's the theory, because they're saying that it's not like a random number generator. So like any computer that you go to does random number generating is not really random. There is definitely a pattern to it, and if you know the pattern, you can definitely figure the what it's going to come up with. So it's not really random. The quantum random computer is truly random, and is on the quantum level. So they're saying it's tapping into the global consciousness, which would be like higher consciousness and stuff like that, to pull these numbers out of nowhere.
Okay. So not everybody obviously uh, has had that type of an experience as this woman did
No.
with the butterfly and the heart rock. It's because the and maybe you put in more. I don't know. I was half brain dead by the time I got to this point of the research, but the thing that made the event, I guess you could say, the synchronicity
Oh, the
of
thing that put them on the map.
the thing that put this thing on the map
Yeah.
was that somebody was sent one of their coordinates or whatever was on a beach,
Yes.
and they came across what was a suitcase full
Yeah.
that had washed ashore with bodies in it.
Yes. Cut up
And,
in pieces, and yeah.
right. So they found this thing on the beach. The bodies were obviously identified, and these girls' landlord was arrested, and I think like tried and convicted of the crime.
Yes.
Crime.
Yeah.
And that put the thing on the map because obviously this person who found the suitcase's intention was to find dismembered bodies. and it
No,
led them
when
right to the beach.
when they did the intention, they did hidden, and they picked void.
Hidden and void. Okay. So how many people at this point in time? When was this? By the way, what?
That was 2020.
Okay, so almost a year,
Yeah.
or within the first year, depending on what part of 2019 they put this out in. But obviously, I would think at that point in time, void would be the only option, because I
I
mean
would think so.
you weren't supposed to be around anybody else.
Yeah.
So I'm sure by this point in time, thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people had used the app to do whatever.
I think it had a niche following at that time. So there were people who knew about it
Correct.
and you
Something to get out of the
yeah.
house and see something
Yeah.
that wasn't their four walls.
Yes.
And so this one
And
person at the time got led to a beach where
it was a group of them, but yeah.
it was what? It was a
It
group
was
of
a
them?
group. Yeah, there was I think 3 of them altogether.
Well, that's just unhealthy.
Well, yeah. They were already breaking the rules.
Teenagers. Young people.
And
Uh
I don't know if they live streamed it or if they just recorded it, but I do know that there's video out there because I knew it made the news and stuff at the time.
of course there's a video of it. Why not? Did they think that it was like One-Eyed Willie's treasure or what? I mean,
Oh, you literally hear them go, "Oh, look, it's hidden." I said they were like, "It's treasure. It could be gold, or it could be." Yeah, they were going. At first, they were excited about it, and then they broke the bag open, and yeah, distinct
yeah,
smell.
distinct smell. Yes. Uh, so they see a Samsonite suitcase and think that Billy the Kid has buried his treasure there. So here's the thing that I don't like amongst like everything. Like in order for this global consciousness, whatever, for this quantum computer to put in coordinates, so these people can go and have whatever their intention or whatever they hit it or whatever, that computer had to have known not only like the murders, like the tide, like how he would have had to know everything about to send these people to that specific place to find that. Otherwise, it's completely coincidental.
Correct.
And
Now, which is it? That's the question because it's supposed to be tapping into to the quantum network, which is supposed to connect to the higher consciousness, which is the global consciousness, and
well, the thing for me is, uh, one, how many times have people used this app before something like this happened? Like, how many people went someplace and yeah, they might have had some sort of interaction or feeling for whatever they got sent, because who wouldn't, before like something this profound actually happened. Like you would think the laws of like the laws of odds or whatever, that laws of attraction, whatever you want to, at some point in time, something is going to happen. Like they're going to be sent something. And plus, not only were they sent to a beach, everything happens on a beach. Like they could have come across a couple people having sex. I mean, and that would have been their profound,
hidden.
experience. Yeah, hidden. The love between two people. That they can just sit there and watch. I mean, their fetish for voyeurism. Who knows? It's
Well,
a
that is one
beach.
of the questions that you have to ask with it. Is it confirmation bias? So are you seeing what you want to see? Are you seeing it because you ask for hidden? Is your brain programming in, okay, well, we got to find hidden now. So everything that you see is going to try to associate with hidden in some way, shape, or form. Now, the only
And
thing I
that
will say is that I've seen several videos where there's just weird stuff that's going on.
so here's why I don't like this. and I'll preface it even with some of these things here, like uh, the attractor, which is one of the three options you have: the attractor, the void, the anomaly.
Yeah.
The attractor is a busy hub of randomness. So it says here in their field guide, you want a clear signal. If you're hoping for a more direct or obvious manifestation of your intention, an attractor is a great choice. You want to find activity. This option may lead you to places with lots of things to see, observe, and interact with. You're seeking abundance. So the name itself suggests a place that is drawing things towards it, like an amusement park.
Yeah.
Making it a fitting choice for intentions related to finding something or experiencing fulfillment. Now, each one of these has what they call a mentor's note. I don't know why they're calling themselves mentors, but whatever. Attractors can sometimes be overwhelming or chaotic. If your point is in a busy public place, take a moment to find a quiet spot to just observe. The quote unquote signal might not be a single object, but a pattern in the activity around you. So, and all three of them are like that. Like they have a mentor's note about how to do this. And the thing is they are already setting you up to have whatever experience you're looking for, no matter where you go. When you put your intention out there, like I keep going back as I'm reading this to what Grant Wilson says years ago when it comes to paranormal investigation. He says when you go into a haunted what you believe is a haunted house, if you are looking for a ghost, like if you're looking for one, you will find one. And that is so absolutely true that that's why you see all these people. Every knock and bang is a spirit. Every three knocks is a demon. Like this is what they're primed for. It's what they want. And these people, no matter where they go, no matter how like outside of the beaten path it is, no matter how inside the beaten path it is, the fact that these people are telling you, sit back and observe, these people are going to find a pattern. They're going to find what they are looking for, whether it's there or not. Because that's how we're trained to be. And
Yeah.
and and honestly, that's why I like the basic concept. Like you said, bike rides, give me a scenic route, that sort of thing. Great. But this whole like you can have a spiritual awakening and find like something that's going to fill the void in your heart by going to these coordinates that a computer is picking for you at random, which apparently is not, it can't be the case, especially in the suitcase incident, because it would have had to have known that that was going to be there if that was what they were supposed to find. Or did they send them to a beach and that just happened to be it? Maybe the quantum computer thought they'd find a beautiful seashell, and instead they found, hacked up body parts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such. It's got so many things to it that I don't like for the premise, and I almost think that this app has turned into like something like it started off what you were using it for, and then as soon as like something profound happened that they heard about, they like, we have another niche.
Oh
Like
yeah.
we can use this for another purpose now to get people to use it.
So I don't know if you got that far into it, but did you read about the founders for these things?
I no, I was
No.
halfway.
Okay.
I was halfway through a stroke as soon as I read the
Started.
suitcase thing. Yeah, no, not when I started it, but when I got past the suitcase thing, I'm done. Like, I can't, and I skipped over the timeline. I'm just like, I don't even
All right.
care. I'm like, I hate this whole thing. But
Yeah. So
go ahead,
Joshua
founder.
Langfielder was the I guess the force behind it, the main person who drove it. But you know what he was doing before he did this piece of software?
Uh,
It was he was
DoorDash.
actually he was actually a circus performer. So he was part of the show and getting people. He was a big time like PT Barnum type person in Vegas. I want to say is where he was out of. So he was already doing the, I don't know what you would call it. I don't know what, the
He was a
con man
showman.
type thing. Yeah,
He
he was
was
a
he,
showman,
he was a showman. Yeah.
and he
Um,
discovered the Phantom Project, which is basically the Fate Project, and he jumped on that and saw it as something that he could market and get it out there. So that's how he jumped on there. But yeah, he was always the showman from the very beginning.
yeah. And I think as soon as somebody he found out that somebody had some profound experience, he's like, this is another thing that we can market this app for. Because who honestly, who out there doesn't want to have an experience like the woman with the butterfly? I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I mean, as cheesy as it is, it's. I mean, that's if it meant much. If it meant that much to her, I guess it's a cool thing. So I mean, but yeah, I want to say that was. I mean, how long were you there? How long did you look for this thing? Did it? I mean, is it just chance that it landed on a rock that happened to look like a heart? And I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that you could get into the ifs and is this just confirmation bias and or not? It interested me because of the quantum mechanics side of it, and they're actually using a quantum computer for it. So that was
is
interesting.
that has that been confirmed?
Yeah, they used two. There's one in Pear Laboratory, and the other one's out of Australia. In Let me see what the name of that one is.
All I'm saying is I have a hard time believing that whoever is in charge of the quantum computer, a quantum computer, in which case there's probably like what, two, maybe three in the world.
I think there's probably more than that now, but
Well, maybe, but I mean, now with AI, yeah, it's probably a lot more common than it was back in 2019 or whatever. But who is going to use a quantum effing computer to lead me on a scenic motorcycle ride like that? Just
true. It
it.
seems out there.
Well, it seems like a complete waste of its time and abilities. I mean, quantum computers should not be made for travel arrangements.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I don't get. So I mean, like, are they saying that they're using a quantum computer, or
Yes.
has that? I mean, I know they're saying it, but has that actually been verified that they're using a quantum computer?
Yes, supposedly it's part of the, like I said, the global this app is a part of the global consciousness effort. And so they're taking the stats that drive off of this app and using it for their studies and stuff like that. And since the first global consciousness, they've started a second global consciousness where you can actually, if you pay for them, that they charge you supposedly what they cost, but you can put one in your house and be part of that whole process.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. If I if I pay a fee, I can be monitored.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. And are you trying to tell me that scientists now are actually doing experiments into global consciousness, which, by all scientific like theories and what, is complete bubkiss? Like that's just that can't exist.
No, they really are. They're trying to see if people can influence the numbers generated even by a digit or something like that. And I want to say it got debunked, but I know for a while it was running off of around 9/11 that when that happened, like they all synced up, all the random units, like their numbers synced up for some reason. And they've said whenever there's events like that, that they start noticing singularities and stuff like that.
Now, I have heard experiments about that, about whether conscious thought can influence like
Yes.
number generation and stuff like that. I have heard of that, but that was like on a one-on-one type basis, or maybe like a
Yes.
small group. We're talking global consciousness here. like I can't even imagine what the parameters of that must be.
Yeah, I'm
I
trying to see
just
if trying to see how many times how many installs that thing has now, because I that's one thing I didn't think to look at.
you're welcome. We'll just sit here quietly while you look.
Well, I was waiting for you to talk.
So, and I put this in my email to you uh, last night, and like this to me, and I'm not even talking about the experiment. If they're doing this as an experiment, be my guest. You know what? I'm not obviously not going to pay to have you monitor me.
No,
I if it's global consciousness, I should need something in my home to do that. I should my consciousness is out there. Yes, I like my little bubble, but I'm sure my consciousness is one with the globalness of everything.
it's if you want to take an active part in that consciousness that you can donate the money to get the device and put it in your house and utilize your internet 24/7 and
I already give my life to Alexa. I just that's all I need. Like I have literally talked to somebody in person about something only to have it show up on YouTube like the next day.
oh
And
yeah.
I've never searched for it. I've never listened to it. I've never done anything. The first time I've ever even talked about it with somebody, and it's right there in my YouTube playlist the very next day.
You
So
might be interested in.
yeah, I yeah, it's 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 insane. In fact, just the other day, I got a text message from my friend Gina, and first time I heard from her in a couple months, maybe a month or two. Um, and she was talking about how she might have to get a second job. And I was like, "Well, what about Chris, your husband? Like, he works. Does he make like really good money or whatever?" The next day, either the next day or the day after, I think it was the next day. For the first time ever, her husband was friend requested to me by Facebook. Friend suggested. I'm like, never before has he ever been in. And I was just like, I'm like, isn't that Gina's husband? I'm looking. I'm like, it was like a group photo. I'm like, oh yeah, there's Gina. I'm like, okay, they have no idea why the Facebook is now friends. And I sent that to her, uh, what had happened, and she laughed. She's like, well, that's really interesting. She's like, because Chris wants me to take a break from Facebook. Like, but so anyway, I mean, I'm already part of this. I don't need a machine in my home to send my consciousness out there to a quantum mechanics computer. I'm sorry. That honestly, that seems to be a complete cheat on the part of global consciousness, because you're like personally monitoring specific people and sending that back. Whereas the whole point of global consciousness is we're all together, not these people who want to pay for these machines. Uh,
True.
so I mean, yeah, right there, that just seems to be a failed experiment. Uh, so, I mean, I guess I would get behind. I would pay for it or anything, and I hope my taxes wouldn't either. But maybe like citywide, or like put it on top of a tornado or something like that, if you want to measure people's energy levels or something like that. But I mean, if you're not going to do the global consciousness, then it's not even worth it. But here's the correlation, the comparison that I would make, and this is what it reminded me of. And I kind of brought it up earlier, just in context, but it reminds me of the Ovulus, another piece of equipment that I absolutely hate. And I wrote that in my email to you. Like, this is what it reminds me of,
Yes.
because that's literally what people do. And I have seen people do it. I've done it before I, sold it and never bought another one. And that is because that is also supposed to be a random generator, which is supposed to be chosen by spirits on the exact words that they're supposed to use. So it's almost the exact same thing as what this quantum computer is doing. It's supposed to have these random words with these random little settings or whatever that spirits are supposed to pick and choose which ones they want. And what people will do, what everybody does, is as soon as a word comes out, they try to find the meaning behind it.
Oh yeah.
I I uh I had the Dubuque team, and I gave them the Ovilus for the very first time, and sat back for the next 45 minutes and watched them try to find stories and correlations with every stinking word that came up. If rose came up, oh,
Mhm.
did somebody give you roses after a performance? We were at the Grand Opera House in Dubuque, so
Uh,
it might have no thing. And you know, goddamn well, like demon and murder and stab, just these words that people are going, oh my God, it's confirmation that you were murdered here. No, it's not. It's a flipping random word. And you're trying to find the meaning behind it. And that's just what this whole thing seemed to me to do. Like, it sends you to these places and you are going to find the meaning you're looking for, whether it's actually there or not.
oh,
And
I like I said, I totally agree. That I think I'm almost a majority, if not all, of the apps that you find on the stores and stuff. I mean, they all tell you they're for entertainment purposes only anyway. It's like, but people are only turning those things on in places that might be supposedly haunted. Like, go to church, turn it on, see what it says. I bet you'd be surprised when it comes up with the same stuff.
I would love to take an Ovilus to a freaking church and they'd be like, demon. There's one here. Oh my God. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was actually, I'll give it some props though, because it is, and again, it could be a lot of people say like words will come out that aren't even programmed into it. I'm not saying the equipment can't be manipulated by spirits that know how to do that. All I'm saying is that the original programming involved in it has nothing to do with what you're doing except to give you that experience.
Oh yeah.
And and since you've used this app, does it say for entertainment purposes only?
I don't think so, but then I didn't look at it. Let me look at it real quick just to, uh,
I would assume that it would only say that when you signed up, like when you made your account.
yeah,
Like
I don't remember it saying for entertainment purposes only, but like I said at the time, I was using it more as as
well,
just a map to find different places I hadn't been. So
well, you were using it for entertainment.
yeah,
I mean,
so
the only place that you would find that I think would be the terms and conditions, was I'm just assuming that it had.
yeah,
Um, but I would think that that's where you would find if it said like for entertainment purposes only, would be under the terms and conditions. Um, but yeah, I'm not. I've never used it. Although if I wanted to, because I at some point in time I'm going to buy a ATV, and so I would like to. I would probably use it to show me like ATV trails that would bring you to cool places.
yeah. I mean, it's the things that I've seen. Nowhere do I see for entertainment purposes only, but maybe because it's already installed.
Maybe, but then again, maybe it's not used for entertainment purposes only. I mean, it's supposed to be show me a path to.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not necessarily entertainment. It's
no,
more travel or whatever they want to do it.
however they
Um,
would qualify that. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean,
I have I have seen some videos that people took with it, and I mean, like I said, it could just be coincidence. You don't. Well, I'm not there, so I don't know that there's not someone off camera doing stuff. But we're assuming that they're being legit when they're making these things, and they definitely caught a voice on the camera, and they took off after that because nothing like getting what you asked for and then being like, nope, I'm out.
so Was their intention to find a haunted location?
I'm thinking so, just because of it took them to some old abandoned car in the middle of the woods, and they
Where
were
some
there when they.
where, where something bad probably happened?
Oh, I would assume that there's an old burned out or rusted out car in the woods. Something bad probably happened, because I don't know how the car got there otherwise.
So there might be a spirit attached to the to the car. I
Yeah,
mean, uh, yeah, I don't understand, and this is just in general. This has nothing to do with the app, but I don't understand people who want that paranormal experience and they will go to great lengths to get it, and then they get it and they they book it like it. And Dave and I have riled on this for years of people who get what they ask for and then they freak. I just
I've
I don't.
one of my favorite things is when people ask me about stuff like that. I'm like, be careful what you ask for, because you might get it, and then are you sure you really want that? Because
Yeah.
odds are probably not.
No, I mean, uh Dave loves to tell the story about the guy when we were doing an event at Farrar that was like, "Come on, push me down the stairs." And like, you don't want what? You don't want to be pushed down the stairs, dude. Like, why would you? If you want to be pushed down the stairs, I will push you down the stairs myself, and you'll get that experience.
He's
Like,
trying to be the
why?
next ghost that haunts the place.
Yeah, it's just it's insane.
Yeah,
People,
it doesn't make any common sense.
no, I mean, and if people want a paranormal experience, I get it. I do. But Jesus, man, like think. Do it the right way. Uh
Well, that goes back to the exploring on your own thing, because like I've had a few people ask me about stuff like that, and it's like I was like, I've never been someplace where I was feared for my life from a ghost or any sort of haunting or any sort of activity like that. I said, now the people that you might run into are a totally different story, because you don't know what you're going to run into if you're out there by yourself, and who else might be out there with you.
mhm. Did you watch the video of this car thing?
Yeah, I saw the car one. It was neat.
And was there like a clear voice on it?
Oh yeah, it was like it sounded like a little girl, and I mean, yeah, if you're not well, I mean, I'm assuming he was asking for something like that. So when you get it, and it definitely creeped him out, and they had an interview with the guy after that, and basically he was saying that for a couple of days after that, he kept hearing it around the house, and it was spooking him out. So again, careful what you ask for.
Oh, people, why won't you listen to us? Probably because you don't know we exist, but that ignorance isn't an excuse here. Uh, yeah, I don't know. So honestly, for people who want to use the Randonautica app for what Anthony was using it for sightseeing, for whatever, uh, have at it. I'm not saying that this app is wrong or this app is evil or this app is a scam or anything like that. Although paying for this machine to monitor you, using your internet really just seems to be pushing that line a little bit. Um, but use it for that. But I mean, if you're going to use it for what to have some profound and like life altering type of an experience,
Yeah.
is bring up DoorDash and put your attention in there because it'll do the exact same thing. It, I mean, and then hit the button. I mean, no matter what, you're going to get food. So I mean, already you're probably better than the people who found the suitcase full of disembodied, dismembered body parts. Uh, just understand you're going to find what you're looking for, and if you need to believe in the app in order to do it, have at it. But don't think that the app is the one that's doing it for you. It's you doing it for you.
Well,
And
definitely, they make it almost to me, like when I dug deeper into it, it was almost, if you follow the directions, it's pretty it's ritualistic almost. because you're setting your intention, you're doing the button, and then you're following, and you're creating your own adventure, kind of, or at least if you're doing it for decent things, not like, I don't know, show me the devil or some crap like that. Which, like, I don't know, you have to be
I,
insane to do that. But I'm sure there are
I
people they have.
there's some people out there. Once it got more of a paranormal type base to it, somebody out there asked to find a demon. Somebody asked to find a demon, and it was given coordinates. And who knows what had happened, or if they went or they just kind of zoomed in on they looking. There's a demon in that place. I mean, and they stayed clear of it. I don't know,
The more
but
impressive one would be there are no videos for the demon one because they've never been found again.
that would be amazing. So, yeah, uh, to each their own. In this case, if I ever need to find some sightseeing places, I will look that up. But otherwise, I'll just stick to the. I guess I could stick to the internet.
Definitely
But
cool. Definitely cool for getting off the beaten path and going different places that you normally wouldn't, if you ask. In my opinion, as far as looking for the other stuff, if it does work like that, do you really want to do that? That would be my question to whoever was doing that.
you know, the if it's what you need, if that's what you need to put yourself into in order to, like I said, fill the void, like the woman with the butterfly and the heart stone. Wonderful story. I love the
Yeah.
fact that she experienced that. That's amazing. Not taking anything away. And if that's what she needed to do to have that, and that's what other people need to do to hopefully have that type of an experience, like I said, have at it. Do it. But don't be surprised if you're the one that finds the bodies in the suitcase.
Yeah.
Because apparently there's really no which way about it. Like, there's no option for good or negative, or good or bad, or good or horrifying. Uh, you know. Uh, so yeah. Um, do we want to take a few minutes to update on the UAP, or do we just want to call it a day?
Up to you. We can go either way. I mean, he had a few interesting things that he dropped, or at least he said in an interview that I
Well,
caught.
let's take 10 minutes and just kind of update on the UAP thing, because obviously a couple weeks ago we did our thing on the congressional hearing, and
Yes.
a man by the name of Borland,
Yeah, Dylan Borland.
Dylan Borland, and
Yeah.
what he is now coming out and saying publicly about his knowledge and his experiences. And I had no idea about this until before the show. So, Anthony, take it away.
Okay, so he basically sat down with George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell and did a 2-hour interview and basically went into more details than what he did at the hearing, and basically went into some of the harassment and stuff like that. And I guess some of the retaliation that they've done to him. They've one of the things, they basically killed his security clearance, and they went and I think they call it sheep dipping is what the CIA term for it is. But they did the Bob Lazar treatment to him. They got rid of you can't find records of him having a master's degree or anything like that. So when he's looking for a job now, he's not qualified because he doesn't have the education or the security clearance to even get the job. And he talked about that on the first part of it, and then he went into details that he sat down, he went to Congress, he told them what he had seen, and they wanted him to go to Arrow to acknowledge what was going on. And he said when he went into that process, he said the people that were taking his story seemed like they wanted to do good, but ultimately he felt it was a fishing expedition, and they were trying to fish for more names and more connections to people that would basically be whistleblowers at some point in time, so they could shut that down before it started. Um, so he held, but he said he did hold back in that he didn't give them everything because he didn't trust them. Uh, they told him to go see the IG, the Attorney General for the IG for complaint. And after that, they basically took all his information and did go after someone that he named in there, which wasn't supposed to be the case, because these are supposed to be the people that adjudicate at the highest level. Tried to embarrass him at work by sending the complaint to his work and making him print it out at work, fix corrections, and send it back while at work. And he said he did 3 drawings for them of what he had seen. And he said 2 of them were immediately classified as special access only and classified, and the other one was no big deal because it was the triangle that he had already talked to several people about. He then proceeded to kind of go out there and say that it's not one thing. There are multiple things that are going on here. He said some of the things have probably been here for longer than humans have been here. He said, and there's an alien thing. And he said that there seems to be a movement coming around to let this either get put out correctly or get leaked out. And they're a little worried about, I guess, what the big global effect would have, which I could see some of that being life shattering, mind altering to some people. They wouldn't be able to handle it, but there's, I don't know, there's definitely, he is one of the ones that I will say that I do believe him, because he even in the course of the interview would get choked up when he was talking and have to pause for a second so he could get his composure back when he was telling some of the things that have happened. And he had been, I guess, threatened at gunpoint, and it really sounded like when he went to the VA for some of his benefits and stuff, that he almost got to experience whatever the current uh, revelation of MK Ultra is, because they said they set him down, they gave him drugs, they made him watch flashing lights and clips of movies that went from a gun to a boy to a butterfly and loud things going on in the background. I'm like, yeah, this is like torture stuff, but okay. And he said all that stuff happened to him at the VA. And he said that one of the VA doctors had, even when they found out what was going on, had tried to protest and they wouldn't acknowledge it. So that guy quit and turned in his notice. And he also went into one of the things that happened to him about his brake lines being cut. And they thought he was drunk, but he went to meet with a CIA representative. And then when he was driving home, he crashed his car, totaled it, and that's where the brake lines were cut. So, yeah.
Telling you, man, they whoever is in charge, they ain't messing around.
No.
So, to his comment about how they've been here longer than us, I mean, if you subscribed to the theory that humanity in the expanse of space is an experiment, that it only makes sense that the doctors conducting the experiment are not only going to be there first, but they're going to be there the entire time, observing, doing their own experiments, figuring out what it is whatever their goal is. I mean, and then there's also obviously the subscribe to the theory that this isn't the first rendition of Earth. You know, that the Earth has been cleansed in shit. What is it? I've heard like 8 different times or something like that. Like it's the whole Matrix thing where, you know,
I could
after a
totally
certain
believe it.
yeah, after a certain amount of time, humanity is pretty much done extinct, and then we start all over again. And
I mean,
this is the last time.
Gobekli Tepe kind of throws it into the face of all the archaeologists who want to say that, who want to give you a timeline, and that just throws your timeline out the window, because it's so much older that any of their stuff, those things shouldn't exist, and they're thousands of years older than what they thought was the oldest thing that was there. So yeah, I, yeah, that goes back to I don't understand how people argue the truth when if you can carbon date it and prove that it goes back to a certain date, like there's no arguing it. You have to accept it and adjust and move on. But yeah. Oh, he also said that the things that they talk about in the Bible, the angels and the demons and stuff. He said that is part of what those things, what we're seeing, are. And what was one other thing that he had said? Oh, there was another guy who he talked about who got threatened in that way, and they basically, while he was sleeping with his family and his dogs, went into his house, took his uncle's ashes, I believe, and took them out and put them by the trash can just to let him know that they were in the house.
Okay, well, on that note,
Yeah.
boy, this guy's they got a hard on for him, that's for sure. But you know what? I give him full kudos for continuing to want to talk.
Well, yeah,
I
he kind of said he's got nothing to lose at this point.
well, his life, which I'm sure will come soon.
Well,
Um, but yeah, I mean, let's hope he does enough damage while he's still here to them, I should say, not to anything else. But
well, at least he said he has a dead drop, so if something happens to him, there'll be a flood of things that get released. So, and he's part of what he did was like they censored part of the interview because he was giving away stuff he wasn't supposed to be giving away, and that's things that they would air if something were to happen to him. A deathbed confessions of sorts.
he's blackmailing them. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a big the blacklist type thing where he's got a fulcrum of information, so the people in power they'll mess with them, but they won't kill them because if they kill them, then all that information comes out.
It really reminds me of Lazar, but yeah.
I don't know. Does Lazar have a whole bunch of blackmail material?
Well, every once in a while, they'll raid his place looking for that element 115 because even though they say it doesn't exist, they seem to be looking for it an awful lot in his stuff.
they'll randomly break into his house and search it.
Yeah, there was when Corbell was doing his documentary on him. One of the days they were doing filming, like FBI and a whole bunch of other agencies rolled up and went into his business and basically tore it apart looking for something, although they didn't say what at the time.
Fun times. Well, we'll keep everybody apprised of this. If more stuff happens, or I should say Anthony will. Because that doesn't seem to be getting into my bubble. But yeah. All right. Well, I got nothing else.
No, that's it for me.
Perfect. All right, everybody. Anthony and I will be back next week. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe. We want to see you back here. Have a good rest of the week.